On to the kingdom of the fungus, or the fungi. As you already know, fungi are eukaryotic, meaning they have a nucleus, heterotrophs, right, meaning that they must consume in order to get their energy, they have to eat, alright? And they have cell walls made of this material called, I like to call it chitin, something like that. Alright, so they are heterotrophs, but they eat pretty differently. They digest the food outside of their bodies and then they absorb it. And they're also really important in our environment because they are decomposers. They recycle nutrients by breaking down dead organic matter. So they are important. Alright, the structure of fungus. It can either be unicellular, which is yeast, or multicellular. Most of them are multicellular. Alright, so all the multicellular fungi are made up in much the same manner. They're all made up of these things called hyphae, which are thin filaments. You can see down here, they're only one cell wall thick. Okay, some of them have cross walls, meaning these little things. Some of them don't. But this is a picture of them. So this white stuff is like the hyphae. It kind of looks like roots. Alright, so even though it looks like the roots, it's actually the fungus itself. So the fungus is made up of a network of all those little hyphae together. So yes, the hyphae are what's doing all the digesting and all that jazz. But all together, when it's all together bundled up, it's referred to as mycelium, and it makes up what the fungus is. Alright, now this is super cool. The fruiting body, or the reproductive structure, right, is typically what we recognize as the mushroom. So this thing here, we're like, oh, that's a mushroom. Guess what? That's the reproductive structure of the mushroom, meaning that's where it has its spores. Like the mushroom itself, the fungus, is, you know, the network of hyphae together. And we have 4 main groups of fungi classified by how they reproduce. So our bread molds, or zygomycetes, you can kind of see, look, they have these little structures here and they have these spores. So that's how they reproduce. So everything that reproduces that way is in this group here, common molds. Alright, our sac fungi, or our Ascomycota. This is the largest phylum of fungus, and our yeast are in here as well as our cup fungi. You can see that they're called cup fungi because, hey look, they kind of resemble a cup. Our club fungi, our Basidiomycota. So this is the stuff that's like in Mario, or some of the mushrooms that you eat are in this phylum. Alright, they are in this phylum. Club fungi because their reproductive structure resembles a club. Then we have our imperfect fungi, the ones that don't really fit in any other group. So this is called Deuteromycota, and an example is penicillin. So yes, penicillin grew on this lemon, pretty cool. And then penicillin is actually a major antibiotic. So you can kind of see here, remember this is the zone of inhibition, so it inhibits growth of this bacteria. It is an antibiotic, and it's a fungus. So cool. Started from fungus. Alright, and then we have some symbiotic fungi, like lichen. Alright, so lichen is a fungus plus some kind of photosynthetic organism like algae or cyanobacteria. So our fungus provides water and minerals, and our photosynthetic partner gives them energy that they get from photosynthesis. So since they're both getting something out of this, they're both benefiting, this is mutualism. And remember from our ecology that lichens are pioneer species, meaning that they are the first to arrive in an area because they can live without soil. Alright, here's some pictures of lichen right here. They are extremely resistant to drought and cold, and they can break down rocks that they grow on. So they are super important to have around when there's no soil. Alright, our last, but possibly, I don't know, going to have a tie for the most important symbiotic fungi are the mycorrhizae. They are fungal mycelia, remember those networks of hyphae, that are found on the roots of plants. Okay, so the mycelia helps absorb waters and mineral from the soil. And again, the plant roots they get energy from the plant, so it gives the mycelia energy as well. So again, both are benefiting, so we have a mutualistic relationship. So it's actually really good for this mycorrhizae to be on the plant roots. And here's a brief overview of fungi.
Like animals, fungi are heterotrophic, living on nutrients stored in the bodies or wastes of other organisms. Some fungi are saprobes, agents of decay that digest the bodies of dead organisms. Other fungi are parasites that feed on living organisms. A third group of fungi, such as those found in lichens and mycorrhiza, live in symbiotic relationships with other organisms. The absorption of nutrients by fungi resembles that of bacteria. Both secrete enzymes outside their bodies that break down the complex macromolecules of their nutrient source into smaller subunits that can be absorbed through pores in their cell walls. The fungal body, composed of long filaments only 1 cell thick, provides an enormous surface area for nutrient absorption. Most small nutrient molecules diffuse through the fungal cell walls and into the cells, but often some of the nutrients remain outside the fungus, providing nourishment for other organisms.